الشيطان الرجيم. I seek refuge with Allah against Satan rejected. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. With God's name, the merciful benefactor, the merciful redeemer. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. The praise belongs to Allah, Lord of all the systems of knowledge. We're grateful to Allah. We acknowledge Him. We're conscious of Him. We're grateful for Him sending us the guidance through Prophet Muhammad. We're grateful for Him sending us the book, the miracle, the Quran. We're grateful for Him showering His blessings upon us, feeding us, and showing us and helping us, sending down the angels to make us and help us to be successful. We ask that Allah shower His most choice blessings upon the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We ask that He favor him and grant him all that He has promised to give him. I greet you in peace. Assalamu alaikum. We want to be brief this afternoon, yet we want you to feel the truth. Alhamdulillah. We want to focus with this khutbah this afternoon on Noah and the flood. And we want to give a metaphysical presentation, a metaphysical understanding of between the physical flood, which we're seeing right now in the world, the physical flood, and the spiritual or metaphysical level of the flood. It says in the Quran, in Surah 3, the house of Imran, it says, إن الله استغفر آدم ونوحا وعلى إبراهيم وعلى إمران على العالمين. That is to say, behold, God raised Adam and Noah and the house of Abraham and the house of Imran above all mankind in one line of descent. I hope you understand what I just read. That's powerful. These houses, these are prophets that Allah sent. One more time. Behold, Allah raised Adam and Noah and the house of Abraham and the house of Imran above all mankind in one line of descent. So they were all related. And you know from the house of Imran comes who? Mary, Zachariah, John, and Jesus, son of Mary. That's just a few of them. And these were prophets, righteous people that Allah has, He says they're above all of mankind. Alhamdulillah. Noah's flood. In doing my research for this khutbah, I saw where Noah is mentioned in 29 verses of the Quran. That's a lot. 29 verses of the Quran. It says in Surah 7, Al-A'raf, it says, indeed, we sent forth Noah unto his people, and he said, O my people, worship God alone. You have no deity other than Him. Verily, I fear lest suffering befall you on an awesome day. We're looking at Noah and the flood. Noah asked the people. He asked his people, he said, why do you deem it strange that a tiding from your sustainer should have come unto you through a man from among yourselves? That's the story of all the prophets. Muhammad, all the prophets came from among the people. And you all know how we act when we know somebody. Sometimes you've known the person from birth. You know him. Sometimes he may even be in your family. You say, oh, you talking about so-and-so? Oh, he just playing games. He ain't no prophet of God. You see? Familiarity. He says, why do you deem it strange that a tiding from your sustainer should have come unto you through a man from among yourselves, so that he might warn you? Do but remember how he made you heirs to Noah's people and endowed you abundantly with power. Remember then Allah's blessings so that you might attain to a happy state. What's the happy state? Paradise. Yes, paradise. The flood. We're now in Surah 11. This is where the story of Noah begins. And I'm going to quickly give it to you. And then we're going to compare it to today's world. And this was revealed unto Noah. Never will any of thy people believe except those who have already attained to faith. Be not then distressed by anything that they may do, but build under our eyes and according to our inspiration the ark that shall save thee and those who follow thee, and do not appeal to me in behalf of those who are bent on evil. For behold, they are destined to be drowned. What did Allah say? Don't even ask me about those who reject the truth. Don't appeal to me. They might be in your family. And so Noah set himself to building the ark. And every time the great ones of his people passed by him, they scoffed at him. Thereupon he said, if you are scoffing at us, behold, we are scoffing at you and your ignorance, just as you are scoffing at us. But in time you will come to know who it is that in this world shall be visited by suffering, which will cover him with ignominy, and upon whom long-lasting suffering shall alight in the life to come. Now, as we look at this, we're not just looking back during the time of Noah. We're looking at right now. All right? Right now. And so it went on till when our judgment came to pass, and waters gushed forth in torrents over the face of the earth. We said unto Noah, place on board of this ark one pair of each kind of animal of either sex, as well as thy family, except those on whom our sentence has already been passed. And all others who have attained to faith. For only a few of Noah's people shared his faith. Only a few. You're not going to find great crowds coming for the truth. That's just not the way it is. Now, they tried to stone Noah to death. The people that he was sent to. So he said unto his followers, embark in this ship, in the name of Allah, be its run and its riding at anchor. Behold, my sustainer is indeed much forgiving, a dispenser of grace. And it moved on with them into waves that were like mountains. That's fearful. That'll scare you to death. I've been in the Navy. I've been on ships. Okay? It'll scare you to death. You see a wave coming taller than that thing look like, man, it'll scare you to death. One night we was on that ship went under the water. The front of that ship went under the water. And that's when I told Allah, I said, just let me back on land one more time, and I will worship you. I will worship you the rest of my life. I'm keeping my bargain. There's nothing as fearful as being out on the ocean. Now they got these big ships, but they ain't nothing compared to the waves that can come across those ships. Let's see what happened here with Noah. And it moved on with them into waves that were like mountains. At that moment, Noah cried to a son of his who had kept himself aloof from the others. Oh, my dear son, embark with us and remain not with those who deny the truth. But the son answered, I shall betake myself to a mountain that will protect me from the waters. And Noah said to him, Today there is no protection for anyone from God's judgment, save for those who have earned his mercy. And a wave rose up between them, and the son was among those who were drowned. That's his family. That's Noah's family. Now let's look at today. Is there a flood going on today? Is there physical floods going on today? Yes. Floods are happening today. Metaphysically, what's flooding in the world? Violence is flooding the world. You can't turn on the news without somebody got shot today. Every day. Every day. And that's just Charlotte. And you can't compare Charlotte to New York and Chicago and Detroit and Los Angeles. You can't. Charlotte is a little country town compared to Los Angeles and New York and Chicago. 2 people might die here every day. But you better bet Chicago got more than that. New York got more than that. That's a flood of violence. Opioids. It's a flood of drugs, legal and illegal. I'm sitting there just last evening watching the news. Middle school, 10 children overdosed, eating marijuana. They call it candy, but what they call it, they got a name for it. But it's supposed to be, it's got marijuana in it. So they chucking down marijuana. All of them got sick. It ain't candy. It might taste like candy, but you chunk down 5 or 6 of them bad boys, you're gonna be acting strange. In a middle school, it's a flood of drugs. It's a flood. So we got violence. Boy getting off the school bus, bam, shot the boy shot. Getting off the school bus. It's out of control. That's a flood. Now, what ship are you on? We got a ship. Noah had a ship and we got a ship. It's called Al-Islam. That's the ship. You got to be on the ship because you can get swept away. the water can sweep you away. It don't have to be. We got physical. We got the physical flood too, but we also got the metaphysical flood. What's metaphysical? Above and beyond the physical. Homosexuality, a flood. You watching TV? You can't even watch a commercial. They got two men kissing on the commercials now. They sneaking that thing in. They done snuck it in, man. You want a job in Hollywood? It wouldn't hurt to be a homosexual, because that's who's running Hollywood. In case you didn't know. Why are certain people so successful and others are not? I ain't gonna call no names. How come they get all this time on TV? Tyler Perry, I'm gonna call his name. Here's a man who wasn't doing nothing but he was doing church plays on Sunday afternoon. That's how he started. That's how he got started. That's how he started making his money. He doing plays on Sunday. He doing African American plays on Sunday afternoon in most cities. He started making money. Then he decided he wanted to be on TV. Boy, they opened the doors for him, didn't they? Oh, he got Mr. Brown and all these shows and Mud Deer and all that stuff. Okay? Yeah, it helps to put on female clothes and act like a woman. That's what they want. That's why he's successful. Ain't no other reason. That's why he's successful. It's a flood going on. And if you don't protect your children and act like you got some sense, you're going to get swept away like Noah's son. He said, I'll take myself to a mountain. Yeah, right. It's a flood going on in America. All kind of floods. Guns. Now listen, what did Prophet Muhammad say? Prophet Muhammad said in the last days, homosexuality will be on a grand scale. It's going to be big time. Murder, big time. All over the world, not just America. And this Khutbah ain't this is for all over the world. But Allah gave us the physical flood with Noah 1,000 years ago. 2,000, 5,000 years ago when Noah came. Okay? We want to finish. He said there's no protection for anyone from Allah's judgment, save for those who have earned his mercy. That's the people who are conscious of God and who try to do what God wants them to do, even if it means losing their job. They want to do what God said do. Oh, it's all right. They nice people. They just a little different from us. You know, they say they gay. It's okay. Let's finish up. Goes on to say, and the word was spoken, O earth, swallow up thy waters, and sky, cease thy rain. And the waters sank into the earth, and the will of God was done, and the ark came to rest on Mount Judy. And the word was spoken, away with these evil-doing folk. And Noah called out to his sustainer and said, O my sustainer. He's talking to Allah. He says, verily, my son was of my family. What's he doing? Now he crying to Allah about his son. Let's see how Allah handles this. He says, O my sustainer, verily, my son was of my family, and verily, thy promise always comes true, and thou art the most just of all judges. Allah answered, He said, O Noah, behold, he was not of thy family, for verily he was unrighteous in his conduct. And thou shalt not ask of me anything whereof thou canst not have my knowledge, any knowledge. Thus, behold, do I admonish thee, lest thou become one of those who are unaware of what is right. So what is he telling Noah? You don't know what I know. You don't have the knowledge here. Okay? Here's what Noah said. O my sustainer, verily I seek refuge with thee from ever again asking of thee anything whereof I cannot have any knowledge. For unless thou grant me forgiveness and bestow thy mercy upon me, I shall be among the lost. That's demonstrating the respect that we should have for Allah. Because some of us going to lose our children. Okay? Some of us going to lose it. Some of us have already lost them. Okay? And they got to stand. You can't go to Allah and they got to stand before Allah for themselves. Thereupon the word was spoken, O Noah, disembark in peace from us, and with our blessings upon thee, as well as upon the people who are with thee, and the righteous ones that will spring from thee, and from those who are with thee. He's telling Noah about the new community now. But as for the unrighteous, folk that will spring from you, we shall allow them to enjoy life. This is what he says now. We shall allow them to enjoy life for a little while. And then there will befall them grievous suffering from us. Us is capitalized. That's Allah. All right? Understand that. So when you see people doing good, when you see that Maserati sitting in front of you at the red light, you see that Rolls Royce, okay? You see that y'all know what I'm talking about, all right? They might be doing good through Allah's eyes, or they might be tricking people, causing corruption, running them commercials, making it look like playing the lottery is the thing to do. Oh, you don't want to play the lottery? You don't play the lottery? You can't win unless you get in it. All this old crooked logical reasoning they give you. Oh, you don't drink beer? I'm saying, listen, if you don't get close to this Quran, I don't see how a person could make it. I don't. You got to get close. You got to get into it. Let's finish up. These accounts of something that was beyond the reach of thy perception, we now reveal unto thee. Who's he talking to? He's talking to Muhammad. He says, these accounts of something that was beyond the reach of thy perception, we now reveal unto thee, O Muhammad, for neither thou nor the people knew them fully until now, until this Quran. Be then like Noah, patient in adversity. For behold, the future belongs to the God conscious. Now, when Allah says future, He ain't talking about this world. He ain't talking about this world. He's talking about the world to come. where we're headed. I love it in the Quran where it says, until you visit the graves. That means you ain't going to be there forever. You ain't going to be in the grave forever. He said, the Quran says over and over, until you visit the graves. I pray to Allah that this khutbah will be of benefit. If I said something wrong, I gave you pure Quran today. What I read to you today, this is from Uhud, the 11th surah, that has in it the story of Noah. So he lost his son. But he had to, what? Let that go. Don't keep bringing that. Allah said, don't. That's what we have to understand. See, what the people don't understand, and there's a whole lot of Muslims don't understand. Blood don't mean nothing. Don't mean nothing. We love our children. Especially, they become Muslims and they take part in the activities at the masjid. We love that. But all of them don't do that. All of them don't do that. And in America, look at the challenges. Look at the challenges that they face today that you and I didn't have to face. I'll be 70 years old. It won't be long before I'm 70 years old. Now, what I went through watching Lassie and My Three Sons, them old TV shows that y'all ain't never heard of, Lassie and My Three Sons and Dennis the Menace and that little harmless stuff. But what did it grow into? Started out with little nice little stuff, right? Didn't it? TV used to be all the nice little stuff, right? Superman and Mighty Mouse and Popeye the Sailor Man and all that little stuff, right? Yeah. But now you got to watch the cartoons and be careful. They might be trying to recruit your child into homosexuality with the cartoons that's on today. You sitting there eating your dinner or whatever, and you don't even see the psychology that they're putting out there. We gotta wake up if we're not already there. But if you read this Quran and you trust Allah and you ask for his guidance, nothing will get past you. No person can get past you. No books. They're having fights now. They get mad with the librarians in America. Don't y'all know that? They got books and they get mad at the librarian because certain books are on the shelves in the library. Some of them are on the shelf with titles like this. Susie has two mothers. Or Tommy has two fathers. Okay? Okay? And then they want to bring us in on it. I say us. They want to bring us in on it and say, should Harry marry Mary? And Harry black. They don't want them on the bookshelf. So they attacked the librarians. One had to quit her job. It got so bad. That's sad. That's what's going on in this country we're living in. I know some of y'all missed some things, but I'm going to let you know. I'm going to let you know, okay? So you should be aware. Let me say this to you. The police asked one of the mass shooters. He killed 31 people down in Florida at a nightclub. The policeman asked the mass shooter. He said, why did you do that? You know what the man said? He said, because nobody loves me. That's what the mass shooter said to the police. him the question. He killed 21 people. They said, why did you do that? And he said, I have no friends. Now that's what you call it, pathological. That's pathological. That's crazy. But that's how people feel. Now, there's no excuse to take action and kill people just because you don't have any friends or because nobody loves you. You need to go love somebody yourself. Maybe they'll love you back. Okay? But that's the answers that they're giving. Why did you do that? Nobody loves me. So what does that say we should do? They say no child left behind. That's what they say. It's just a joke. They don't mean it. All right. I pray to Allah that we're on the ship. Don't look for a lot of people. Even when we build our mosque up on Ricker Street, ain't gonna be a whole lot of people coming to the mosque. Some of them ain't gonna be able to take it. Some of them can't deal with it. Okay? They say build it and they will come. They gonna come. They see a nice looking building, they'll come just to see how it look inside. Some of them. All right? But there's ain't gonna be a big crowd where the truth is. Because they can't take it. They can't do it. One guy told me, said, man, y'all pray 5 times a day. I looked at him, I looked him straight in his face. I said, yeah, sometimes 6. I was talking about tahajjud, the late night prayer, right? I said, yeah, sometimes 6. That's too much praying. I said, I don't think so. I said, it depends on how long you're down there. Take about 5 minutes to do a prayer. Okay? And with this craziness in America, we need 10 prayers. We need more than what we got. I thank Allah for making me Muslim. I hope you do too. That's a special thing. If you can see it, if you see what Allah wants you to see, if you see the light, thank Him for making you Muslim. It's going to be people against you, family members, many of them, ignorant, they don't know anything. My uncle used to tell me, he said, you can't do that. I said, why? He said, you changed your name. I said, yeah, I changed it. He said, how you gonna get a job? They ain't gonna hire you. I was on an internship. I'm gonna tell you this, then we're gonna finish. I was on an internship in Boston, Massachusetts. About 20 of us. We had PhDs from around the country that's supposed to be our mentors. So we had lunch, and at the lunch that we had the president of GE, IBM, and all these big people over these corporations that they want us to come and work for them, right? We supposed to be the smart students, right? Okay. So I had to give the prayer before we ate lunch. I slipped and said Allah. I was trying to say God, but it just came out the other way. I said, I said Allah. This particular professor, I'm going to call her name. Her name was Carolyn Gathright, PhD from Tuskegee University in Alabama. She said, why did you do that? She said, these people don't worship God. Why did you say that? I said, well, they asked me to give the prayer. Somebody must be decent that's working for these big corporations. They asked to pray before we ate the food. She said, you shouldn't have done that. She was upset. She just couldn't understand it. And she's a black female PhD at Tuskegee University, scared to death. After the thing was over, you know, one of the big boys came to me. He said, "That was a nice prayer you said." Al-Fatiha. Al-Fatiha. You see? So you got people who are on high levels who are afraid of the establishment. Don't know how to act, what to say. Be yourself. As the lady say, what would you rather have? Your son to be a homosexual or a Muslim? She said a homosexual. Yeah, that's a true story. Ask the lady, would you want your son to be a Muslim or a homosexual? She said homosexual. That's people crazy. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار ربنا لا تزغ قلوبنا بعد إذ هديتنا وهب لنا من لدنك رحمة إنك أنت الوهاب ربي زدني علما. Oh Allah, give us knowledge. He commented on that. Will you recite for us? Okay.